Hello, my name is Douglas Bloch. I'm an author and mental health educator. Welcome to your Depression Recovery channel, where each week we talk about practical tools and coping strategies for healing from depression and anxiety. This is episode 14 of my audiobook, When Going Through Hell, Don't Stop. You'll be listening to Chapter 8, After the Pain, the Joy, What I Gained from My Depressive Breakdown, in which you'll be learning of the unexpected gifts that depression left in its wake.
Chapter 8. After the Pain, the Joy. What I gained from my depressive breakdown. No one is as capable of gratitude as one who has emerged from the kingdom of night. Elie Wiesel. Enlightenment begins on the other side of despair. Jean-Paul Sartre. There is an ancient spiritual truth which states every adversity contains within it the seed of an equivalent or greater good. Like the lotus flower that blossoms in the depths of the mud, something redeeming can emerge from even the most horrendous situation. This was certainly true of my experience of major depression. When I awoke from the nightmare, I found that the illness had left unexpected gifts in its wake. The black cloud of depression had a silver lining. The first of these blessings was compassion. As a result of my ordeal, my empathy has deepened for all those who suffer, and especially for those who are afflicted with mental illness. Having gained a greater understanding of the frailties of human existence, I am less likely to judge others. Before my episode, I might have said about a person with a neurosis, "How could he stay in that dysfunctional marriage?" Or, "Hasn't he cured his addiction yet?" Now when I meet a person who is in pain, I release my judgment and say silently, "Friend, I know what it is like to be at the mercy of your demons. I bless you and pray that you too will find your way home." On the eve of my second hospitalization, Joan had remarked, "Think of your stay in the hospital as a training ground for learning how to cope." In many respects, my entire illness was a lesson in learning how to manage intense pain. Thus, a second gift of depression has been the development of emotional coping skills that I now use to create stability and serenity in my daily life. In addition, I have gained a new perspective on the meaning of distress. Whenever I start to get irritated because something is not working out as planned, I say to myself, "What's the big deal? I almost died. I almost committed suicide." What was once a crisis, I now regard as an inconvenience. I am reminded of the saying, "Don't sweat the small stuff." After you have stood at the brink of the abyss and faced death, everything is small stuff. Yet another blessing I have received has been the reconciliation of my marriage. My divorce in 1996 initiated an overwhelming reaction of grief and loneliness, which created the depression that ultimately led to my breakdown. During my illness, my ex-wife Joan became a major support in my healing, accompanying me to LEC's Sunday services and driving me to the monthly God meetings. Our commitment to my recovery and our spirituality rekindled the love that drew us back together. Finally, my reconciliation with Joan was part of a bigger picture. Having my own near-death experience made me realize what I truly valued in life: the love of my wife, friends, and family. Breaking down to break through. The depths of darkness to which you can descend and still live is an exact measure of the height to which you can aspire to reach. Lawrence Vanderpost. In 1977, Czech physical chemist Ilya Prigogine won the Nobel Prize for his theory of dissipative structures. Prigogine showed that open systems, those systems having a continuous interchange with the environment, occasionally experience periods of instability. When this imbalance exceeds a certain limit, the system breaks down and enters a state of creative chaos. Yet out of chaos and disorganization, a new and higher order spontaneously emerges. This phenomenon, known as spontaneous transformation, has been recognized as the basis of physical evolution. I believe that what holds true on the physical plane is valid on the psychological plane as well. Hence, so-called nervous breakdowns can be seen as rites of passage into a more mature spiritual consciousness. As survivor researcher Julius Siegel describes it, in a remarkable number of cases, those who have suffered and prevail find that after their ordeal, they begin to operate at a higher level than ever before. The terrible experiences of our lives, despite the pain they bring, may become our redemption. Although I would never want to trivialize the suffering that depression brings, I do feel changed for the better by my healing experience in ways that would not have occurred had I undergone a lesser ordeal. What goes down must come up. 10 years ago, I wrote the following in my book of affirmations, Words That Heal. What goes down must come up. There can be no death without rebirth. Every ending is followed by a beginning. The experience of hell is a precursor to the glory of heaven. These words are no longer an intellectual supposition. Having learned their truth firsthand, I have a personal message for anyone who's going through a dark night of the soul experience. 1. Set the intention to heal. Make the decision that you want to get well, even if you don't know how. 2. Reach out for support to other people and to spirit as you understand it. 3. Ask spirit, or your higher power, for the courage and endurance to stay in the pain until it repatterns. If you follow these suggestions, while I cannot guarantee that you will get better, no one can know the future with certainty, my experience tells me that you will greatly maximize your chances of healing and making a full recovery. I realize that not everyone can develop the spiritual endurance to hold on, and there is no shame in that. But for those whose will to live is greater than their suffering, there exists an eternal promise of resurrection and rebirth. Like the mythical phoenix, we who are consumed by fire will rise again from the ashes. I began this book with a quotation from Teddy Roosevelt, a courageous soul who experienced numerous episodes of depression during his life. His words, "It is not having been to the dark house, but having left it that counts," form a credo for all souls who have been to hell and back. Because depression tends to recur, there is a possibility that I might one day revisit Roosevelt's dark house. If that occurs, I hope to put this book's body, mind, and spirit recovery program to good use. But for now, I would rather join with the psalmist in singing the 126th Psalm, in which David praises God for the deliverance of his people. The Lord has done great things for us, whereof we are glad. Those who sow in tears shall reap in joy. He who continually goes forth weeping shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him.
This is Douglas Bloch. I hope you enjoyed listening to this part of my book. If you did so, please give the video a like. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section, or you can email me, douglasbloch@gmail.com. If you'd like to subscribe to this channel, just click on my photo in the closing credits. You'll be taken to my subscribe page, where you can click on the subscribe button, and if you click on the bell up to the right or next to it, you'll be notified every time I make a new video or do a live chat. And until we meet again, I wish you the best in your mental health recovery. Thank you.